evening, everyone. On behalf of the entire staff of Beech Ridge Motor Speedway and the Cusack family, it's my pleasure to welcome you to Maine's oldest continually operating family-owned speedway. My name is Bruce Elvey, a race commentator. And tonight, in addition to a full Beech Ridge Motor Speedway race card, we bring you the return of the Northeast Midget Racing Association, the 100-mile-an-hour midgets, to be a part of our program tonight. We're in the 96, row 2 to the inside. Glenn Reynolds in the 05. Jeff Severance in the number 28. Row 3 on the inside, Scott Chapman in the number 85. Jerome Bushy in the 18. Paul Holstrom in the number 58. Whiting Reserve in the 08. The 73 is driven by Larry Ramsey Jr., the number 10, Charlie Roussel. David Wiles in the number 29, Wayne Whitten in the 0. The 79 and Wayne Poland, number 19, Jackie Roussel. The 77, Rick Libby. The 56, Robert Bodwell. Gary Adams in the number 74, Don Colbert Jr. in the 86. The 50 is driven by Alan Burby, and the 83, Donnie Whitten. Keith Lovejoy rounds out the field in the 03. Assistant starter Junior Niles atop the flag stand for heat number 1 gives the drivers the all clear as they work down through turn 3 to turn 4. He asks them to pick it up just a little bit. At turn 4, green is out. Chuck Willoughby from the pole position shows the way. Glenn Reynolds right up to challenge for that runner-up position. Back in the pack, Bodwell goes 3 wide, trying to advance from the back of the pack. Battle is for second. Glenn Reynolds down low, takes it over. Coming back, pressing hard on the outside, John Maycomber in the 96. He draws it even. Reynolds now goes below race leader Chuck Willoughby. They go at it side by side down to turn 3. Willoughby gets up high. That turns it over to Glenn Reynolds. Tangle in turn 1 as the 85 and 82 come together. Willoughby does a nice job of recovering, but with it he loses about a half a dozen positions. 15 cars to qualify for this first heat. The rest will have to do it via the consolation event. Caution flag on the field. Caution flag on the field for a bumper that lays in the middle of the backstretch there, entering turn 3. That's the reason for the caution flag. 3 laps have been completed. Right now, assistant starter Junior Niles has given the drivers the all clear. He points to turn 4, tells the drivers to hold even. Glenn Reynolds gets right on it, and the green flag comes out. Reynolds on the pole sets the pace, and he decides to get a jump. And right back to his point position. He is followed by John Maycomber in the 96. Then comes the 85, Scott Chapman, followed by the 58, Paul Holstrom. And Jeff Severance rounds out the top 5. 3 wide racing between turns 1 and 2. The 29, David Wiles, tucks it back down. 3 wide racing now right at the back of the pack as Keith Lovejoy tries to advance from the rear of the lineup. One of the outstanding rookies in this limited sportsman division in the 03. Scheduled to start up front, but had problems on the car and had to join the rear of the lineup. So he has his work cut out for him to get up into a qualifying position. Last qualifying position would be between the 86 and the 77. 86 Don Colbert Jr., the 77 Rick Libby. They battle for that last qualifying spot. Starter indicates that they'll be coming to the halfway point next time by. Glenn Reynolds has worked himself out to a relatively comfortable lead. Jackie Roussel with problems here in the number 19. Almost going a lap down. Cars tangle in turn 1. The 29, David Wiles, and the 0 of Whitten. Wiles right back across the track. And that collects the 77 of Rick Libby. Also involved there, the 18, Jerome Bushy. Stalled at the exit of the infield pit road, and the cars come under caution once again. Right now, ready to get back to green flag racing once again. Junior Niles gives the drivers the all clear as they glance over the flag stand one more time. 8 laps down in this 15-lap first qualifying heat. Glenn Reynolds looking to take it over from the pole once again. As the green comes out, Reynolds jumps right back into a quick lead. Battle is for third. The 85, Scott Chapman on the low side. Paul Holstrom to the outside, the number 58. Holstrom loses the grip just a little bit as Whitey Meserve comes up to challenge now. They tangle down into turn 1. The 96 gets turned about, involving Chapman in the 96. Whitey Meserve in the 08, along with the 74, Gary Adams, as he collects the 85 down there on the low side between turns 1 and 2. This turn 1 and 2 area is proving to be a rough one tonight. Safety means that all the drivers are okay. And they are out assessing the damage to the cars and obviously want to get back into action if it is at all possible. John Maycomber back, ready to join the pack as he sits at the turn 3 pit exit. Steiner has given the drivers the all-clear, points to turn 4, says hold it even. Green is out, and once again, Glenn Reynolds not wanting to give up that point position. The man who advanced on that one, Paul Holstrom, in the number 58. Rookie Jeff Severance, however, is up to do battle now for the runner-up position as he works beneath the 58 and takes it over. Another strong running rookie in the number 28 now tries to rein in race leader Glenn Reynolds. Robert Bodwell up to position 4 and on the move in the number 86, Don Colpert Jr. Last qualifying car, I believe, would be the number 10, Charlie Roussel. Charlie Roussel, semi-feature winner here a week ago. On the move down into turn 3, Don Colpert Jr. in the number 86 as he has taken it to the outside of the 56 of Bodwell. Top 5 have broken away from the rest of the pack. Starter indicates just 2 laps to go. Some strong runners sit outside of qualifying, and you know they don't want to stay there. Spin, oh, near spin between turns 3 and 4. 2 cars over the top of the bank. The 50, Alan Burby. Flat right front tire took him to the outside of the track, and with it, Keith Lovejoy in the 03. White flag comes down, 1 lap to go. Spin between turns 3 and 4. Rick Libby gets tangled up with the 74, Gary Adams. Continues to be Glenn Reynolds holding off Jeff Severance. Severance pressing, trying to find a way around the 05. Down low, out in the speed bumps. Checkered flag is out. Reynolds hangs on to it. Severance. The 58, Paul Holstrom. Then pretty hard to tell between the 56, Robert Bodwell, and the 86 of Don Colpert Jr. Well, if this is a sample of what we're going to see in the main event, when we have an additional 20 cars out there, we think unofficially the last qualifier was the 82, but that is unofficial. From Westbrook, Maine, in the Waldrons, number 05, Glenn Reynolds. Young man who's had more than his share of hard luck, seems to have put it all together. Spike Manitoul, who's had problems with the 89 on pit road, joins the lineup. He was scheduled to start 3rd on the outside. I think is going to want to start on the tail end of the lineup. Mechanical problems plaguing the number 89 tonight. Eddie Walsh gives the drivers the okay and goes, hey, green is out of turn 4. 3 wide down into turn 1. Jimmy Emerson on the move. Tim Maloney at the point. Emerson moving to the outside. Jim Emerson, fresh from a feature win in the number 2 1 week ago. Pressing hard to the outside of the number 69 and Tim Maloney. Ed Strong in the 3rd place position. Dave Bath in 4th. And by about a fender,
Darrell Ward, but here comes Steve Wilson up the inside to challenge for that position. Ed Strong works beneath the number 2 of Jim Emerson, trying to get up and draw it even and battle for that runner-up position. Emerson trying to rein in race leader Tim Maloney. Celtic fan, you know that when they say the Chief, they're talking about Robert Parrish. But here at the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway, when we say the Chief, we're talking about the Chief of the the Kittery Police Department in the 10. It's Strong. You find all types of professions represented in auto racing, and that's one sample. Police chief behind the wheel of the number 10, going at it wheel to wheel with a strong runner in the number 2. Jimmy Emerson gets the car cranked right around sideways, has to back out of it just a little bit, and the advantage goes to Strong in that runner-up position. David Bath looks for room now beneath the number 2. Like Eddie Walsh indicates, it will be just 2 to go next time by. Bath looking down beneath the number 10, couldn't quite find room. Pressing hard, trying to find a way up into that runner-up position. Battle is for third. David Bath working to the low side, Jim Emerson to the outside. White flag is out. Tim Maloney looking for what I believe will be his 5th qualifying heat win. Across the stripe, Tim Maloney. Ed Strong, Jim Emerson, the number 5, David Bath. Looks for the number 7 of Strout. Strout goes a little wide. That opens up the inside for Tim Land. Tim Land in the Tidewater number 16 up now, right to the back bumper of Scott Watts. Joe Bowser up to challenge Strout for the 3rd place position. They are coming to the halfway point. 5 down, 5 to go. Tim Land takes a look to the outside of the F80 once again. That will open up the inside for Joe Bowser, and Bowser takes that inside lane. Strout gets it out of shape just a little bit. Tim Land up now to challenge to the outside of race leader Scott Watts. They go wheel to turn 3. Land hard on it, way up high. Across the stripe, gets the car out of shape, has to back out of it just a little bit. And with it, he is back now battling for position 3. No, that goes to Gary Johnson. Now Bowser's going to take a look to the outside of Watts. Joe Bowser on the move on the outside, draws it even as they cross the stripe in their last 2 laps. Out of turn 2 on the backstretch, Bowser puts a fender ahead. Scott Watts brings it right back wheel to wheel at turn 4. White flag is down. Bowser takes it over across the stripe. Also on the move, Gary Johnson as he presses now, trying to take that runner-up position. Checkered flag is out. Joe Bowser, Scott Watts, Gary Johnson, Tim Land, and Gary Pulsifer. Tight competition in the late model sportsman division. As we mentioned earlier, dead heat last Saturday night. 1 week ago at the mid-season point, a tie. As you can see, the midgets are preparing for their first qualifier for tonight's race meet. Once again, it's a pleasure to have you back with us here at the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway, Dick.
Thank you, Bruce. Good to be here. They're 72-inch wheelbase cars. The engines vary from about 140 cubic inches up to 180 cubic inches, depending on how the valve train operates. That's how most of it comes. And as I introduce the cars, you'll hear some of the different engines. And on the pole for this, the first heat, will be a Fontana-powered machine. Perhaps more years as a starter experience than anybody else you're liable to run into. He's done it all over the country, and he knows what he wants. He wants them to follow the rules. Once again, Stan Belusiak and Paul Lawless. They get on it a little early, but they stay too wide and cross the line in good order. Belusiak hangs on. Lawless is second now as Belusiak has serious trouble, falls right backwards. Lawless has the lead. Jeff Horn came 3 wide around the outside and looks for the lead after 1 circuit. Not quite, but he hangs the rear end out a little bit, works on Paul Lawless on the outside down the backstretch. Jeff Horn in another Volkswagen. It's 2 Volkswagens. Gets a little squirrely, straightens it right out. Horn has the lead. Rick Hart in the V4. Russ Storr in the Gertie and Joey Coy in the other Gertie, number 12, come next. Jeff Horn running out to a big lead. Paul Lawless hanging on to second. The Chevy V4 having one of its best runs of the season. That's a brand new car put together, as I said, by the driver and the owner. Completely hand-built, very low-buck operation. Running against cars that cost 5 or 6 times as much money. Halfway this time by as Jeff Horn is just flying out here. Paul Lawless now drifts out a little wide. Hart tries to get under him, can't do it. Battle for 4th as Joey Coy gets under Russ Storr. Coy underneath Russ Storr has the spot as they come by this time, and he's working on Hart. They're both going to work on Hart. Coy right down in the bumps. Still hangs on to that spot, 3 wide now, going into 4 around a lap car 2. Hart gets a little bit sideways. Storr takes over 3rd. Jeff Horn is just plain checked out from the rest of the field with 2 laps to go. Paul Lawless is hanging on to that 2nd spot. Now has Russ Storr all over him. See that Lee Smith in the 17 didn't get to work on the handling. Oops, Paul Lawless lost it and slides to the outside. And Joey Coy got tangled up there in the ensuing incident and slides to the inside. So we were all set to go with our last lap, and it turns out we're going to have to do a green-white checker to get this race in the books. There's 8 laps down to go. It's probably going to be quite a charge from the back of the pack there. Joey Coy in the number 12. This is his first race with us this year. He's been running. In fact, he finished 10th in that show out at Raceway Park that was on television last Saturday night. Oh, my goodness! Russ Storr ran over a wheel as the green flag did not come out. Went way up in the air, came down on the wall. I think he's okay. And the red flag is going to be out here while we go over there and check on Russ. This has not been a good season for Russ. He missed our last race because he crashed at Oswego.
Dick, the word from our safety crew is that the driver has told them that he is okay. Just shaken up, but he has told our safety crew there that he is okay. Just shaken up.
That's certainly good news. I'm not sure they should take his word for it, however. Sometimes they need to look a little closer after that. But that was a strange ride. I don't think I've ever seen one occur quite like that. He looked like he was about to be launched.
Well, just to let the folks know, we had the stopwatch on the race leader back a few laps ago, and he was turning at approximately 13.42. And that will translate to better than 100 miles an hour here on the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. So these midgets are certainly getting around this track. They are, of course, the fastest cars that ever raced on this speedway. So they are turning at tremendous speeds. Then comes Donnie Morse in the number 75, Billy Thompson in number 6.
Dennis Quinn in the 06. To his outside will be Dave Fecto. Here comes rookie Hans Meyer. Jeff Morgan in the number 7. Dave Langless in the number 93. Last week's 75-lap feature winner Ken McLeod in the number 30. Next on the grid, defending champion Larry Gelinas in the number 37. Gordon Nelson in the number 61. Then comes Dennis Hall, 3-time feature winner in the 94. Danny Bubar in the number 24. And current point leader Pee Wee Knight in the 111. Flagman says hold it even at turn 4. Green is out. Spin right here. Mike Field gets turned about in the number 88. And he avoids the concrete. Does a nice job of keeping that car out of the wall. Trying to get that car back underway and unable to refire the 88. That will require the caution flag. Not the way Mike Field wanted to start his qualifying event. But the fortunate thing, he was able to keep that car out. Right now, Flagman Eddie Walsh gives the drivers the all clear. And we are starting from scratch once again. Kevin Buck, Steve Berry bring them to turn 4. Green is out. Steve Berry from the outside takes it over as they race to turn 1. Young man who has been an outstanding rookie in 1992 has already grabbed a feature event and several qualifying heats, is at the point tonight. Three to 4 wide racing into turn 2. Very, very tough to negotiate, but somehow they managed to do it. Kevin Buck holds down the second place position. Then comes Donnie Morse and Ryan Shepherd. Billy Thompson rounds out the top 5. Tim Gendron gets it sideways in turn 4 and does a nice job of holding the car, but he loses all kinds of positions. Battle is for second. Ryan Shepherd trying to take it over from the outside. And once again, first and second place position in the hands of a couple of outstanding rookies here in 1992. Steve Berry in the number 7, Ryan Shepherd in the 34. Last qualifier at the moment, I believe, would be Pee Wee Knight in the 111. Battle is for fourth. Donnie Morse trying to take it over to the outside of Kevin Buck. Also on the move, Hans Meyer in the number 2, but he tangles with the 06. The 06, Dennis Quinn and Hans Meyer in the number 2 tangle in turn 4. Everyone stays underway. Flat tire on the right front of the 06. Evidently got him out of shape, and he in turn got the number 2 out of shape. Dennis Quinn takes the 06 on a pit road. Flagman indicates they will be approaching the halfway point. Berry with a straightaway lead now over Billy Thompson, who has taken over that runner-up position. Then comes Donnie Morse, Ryan Shepherd, Kevin Buck, and Dave Langless. And perhaps the driver who has covered the most ground, Pee Wee Knight in the 111, who started in the back row, has already worked himself up into the top 7. Last qualifier, I believe, right now would be Dennis Hall in the number 94, as he holds down the 15th place position. Problems on the 37 of Larry Gelinas. He is the defending champion of the division. He is off the pace in the number 37. battle is for fifth. Kevin Buck in the 25, Dave Langless in the 93. They go at it side by side for the fifth place position. Down to 2 laps to go. Once again, Steve Berry with better than a straightaway lead over Billy Thompson. Battle continues to be waged for the fifth place position. The 25 on the low side, Kevin Buck. Dave Langless on the outside in the 93. Pee Wee Knight desperately trying to get up into that top 5. Takes a look now to the outside of the number 25. They are in the white flag lap. And coming under the checkered flag, Steve Berry in the number 7. Easily capturing the second qualifier. Billy Thompson, Donnie Morris, Ryan Shepard. Then it looked like Dave Langless by about a bumper. Here's your winner coasting down to the start-finish line area. Once again, the outstanding rookie from Gorham, Maine, Steve Berry in the number 7, as he captures another qualifying event. Row 5, winningest driver in this division in the lone Ford, the 07 of Doug Shores. And to his outside, in the number 7, Kevin Durgan. Back out, we mentioned mechanical problems on the number 89. And he is back out trying the car once again on the tail end of this qualifying heat. Flagman Eddie Walsh gives the drivers the all clear once again. 10 laps on tap. These are the high point men in the Super Sportsman division. Dave Sprague in the number 1. Bill Weeks in the 9. They come to turn 4. Green is out. Dave Sprague from the point. He brings Gary Clough right along with him up the inside as they get the jump. Then comes Steve Howard and Phil Weeks going at it for position number 3. Russ Johnson rounds out the top 5. Dave Sprague continues to show the way, but he has all kinds of pressure from Gary Clough in the 0. Steve Howard in the 3rd position. Top 3 trying to break away just a little bit. Russ Johnson to 4th. Chris Rule up to the 5th place position. Also on the move, Doug Shores in the 07 as he gets beneath the 08 and Willie Elliott. Flagman indicates it will be the halfway point next time by. Chris Rule takes a look to the outside of Russ Johnson now as he makes a challenge for that 4th place position. Chris Rule, a 2-time feature winner in this division. Driver to capture more than one main event, of course, is Doug Shores, who has captured 5 feature events in this division. Chris Rule now taking a look to the outside of the 03 as he looks to challenge for that 3rd place position. Flagman Eddie Walsh indicates just 2 to go. Chris Rule takes it a little wide, loses just a little bit. Back to a side-by-side battle with Russ Johnson for 4th. White flag is down, continues to be Dave Sprague in the number 1. Checkered flag comes out. Dave Sprague, followed by Gary Clough, Steve Howard, Russ Johnson, and Chris Rule. Late model type chassis, limited type engine. Class that has really caught on here and is growing steadily. And here's your winner of heat number 2, coasting down to the start-finish line area. From Scarborough, Maine, driving the S&B Enterprises Garrett Services number 1, David Sprague. Car is also sponsored in part by Dunson Sunoco, along with Channel One Video. And as always, those sponsors, mighty important to all of these race teams. Rondo, the 56, Andy Lew. Row 4 marks the return of Bob Randall in the number 91. And to his outside, defending two-time champ in a row, Mike Mayetta Sr. Mike Johnson in the number 33. George Libby in the number 8. Once again, out one more time, trying the car for the first time in 1992. Jimmy Brown in the 04. Flagman Eddie Walsh gives the drivers the all clear, points to turn 4. Says, hold it even, gentlemen. Green is out. Barry Babb from the point. Bobby Libby trying to take over that runner-up position to the outside of Paul Johnson. Bob Libby, a two-time feature winner in this division. Ran into some hard luck as his car was literally run over by two other cars last Saturday night. The crew has done a nice job of getting that car back in shape. He works to the outside of hard-charging Paul Johnson in the number 35. They go at it side by side. Johnson with the advantage down low, and here comes Pete Rondo in the number 44. We might have missed Andy Lude in the lineup there. It was Andy Lude from Biddeford, Maine in the number 56, also a feature winner here in this division. Bobby Libby off the pace there in turn 4. Mike Mayetta has to get right on the brakes. Spin by the 44. Pete Rondo gets the 44 turned about and is collected by the number 2, Glenn Cusack. And two of the strong runners here involved in that tangle coming out of turn 2. Pete Rondo in the number 44. All right, now Flagman Eddie Walsh has given the drivers the all clear. We have 4 laps down. Second qualifier for the late models. Barry Babb and Paul Johnson in turn 4, and the green is out. Barry Babb with the advantage as they race to turn 1. Mike Johnson up now to challenge as he works beneath the 35 of Paul Johnson. 3 wide in turn 4. Mike Mayetta between cars and on the move. Mike Johnson and Paul Johnson go at it side by side. Advantage on the low side to Mike Johnson. Also a battle side by side. Andy Lude, the number 56, and Mike Mayetta. Mike Johnson takes a look to the outside of race leader Barry Babb. Mike Johnson takes it over down into turn 3. He will exit turn 4 and see 2 flags go out, 2 to go. Mike Johnson, a former champion here in the late model sportsman division. Also multi-time champion in the limited sportsman division some years ago. White flag is out. Mike Johnson, impressive power from the 33 tonight. Wraps heat number 2, followed by Barry Babb, Paul Johnson, Andy Lude, and Mike Mayetta. And here's the winner of heat number 2 in the Polar Beverages R.J. Grondin, number 33 from Scarborough, Maine, Mike Johnson. midgets out of the infield pit road area, and they are in preparation for their second qualifying heat. And with that, we'll return things to Dick Monahan, the voice of the Northeast Midget Racing Association. Dick?
Chevy V6 on the pole. That's the more or less standard Chevy engine. Probably as close to a stock block as we have, with the other close to stock block engine right outside it, the Chevy 2 in the number 24. And a couple more of those pseudo Volkswagens in the second row. Maury looks them over. Everything looks okay. In turn 3, Matt O'Brien and Keith Botello, two of our younger Lions. Bring them out side by side. The green's out and Matt O'Brien on the inside has the early lead. O'Brien and Botello down the backstretch in that order. Charging up from the back of the pack comes Drew Finoro. As John Mechatarian in third tries to go outside. Frank Antonio almost lost it. Almost took a couple more cars with him. Drew Finoro now comes slamming around those other cars. Takes second already. Down the front stretch, working on Matt O'Brien as Doug Cleveland has serious problems with the Sesco power plant in his car. Is just barely moving. Into turn 3 goes Drew Finoro, followed by Greg Storr, a real veteran, 4-time champion and a youngster. The Pontiac power of Drew Finoro legs it away down the backstretch as Greg Storr can't quite keep up with that Volkswagen machine. Mike Seymour in another Volkswagen now comes around O'Brien to take over third. O'Brien's holding down fourth. Frank Antonio has fifth with a couple of cars all over him. Babe Shaw and Mike Fabuli. Front 3 cars are way out alone, but that's quite a battle for fourth. Babe Shaw now has that fourth spot away from Antonio and goes to work on O'Brien. Oh! Shaw goes over a wheel. As O'Brien must have had something break, he slowed right down. Shaw went right over the wheel, but continued on. I guess things are okay. Finoro, Storr, and Seymour, 1, 2, 3. As the rest of the pack continues. Mike Fabuli came out of that scramble in fourth spot, but half a lap behind. Yellow is out as Matt O'Brien couldn't get the car all the way around to pit road. And they look like one of the folks to put your money on for this week. Outside of him is the young Lion, as I said, Greg Storr, who has one feature win and has been up front regularly all season. This new car and driver combination. Maury looks them over once again. They're coming out of turn 4 in good shape. The green's out. The Pontiac out drags the Volkswagen once again. Seymour hangs onto that third spot. Fabuli is fourth, but now instead of half a lap behind, he's right on Seymour's bumper. White flag this time out. The front 4 cars flash under, and Fabuli takes third away from Seymour, goes after Storr. But the checkered flag is coming out. I don't think he's going to have time to do it. And Drew Finoro takes the second heat of the night. Drew Finoro from Andover, New Jersey takes heat number 2, driving Gene Angelillo's Skoal Extramat Pontiac. Once again, that's one of those engines that you see very often on Saturday Night Thunder.
Ed Gallant in 13. The 3 in David Raymond. Don Tapley in the 15. The 62, Jeff Charland. Green is out. Jim Shaw gets a turnabout as he comes across the start-finish line. Remaining cars there, Dennis Featherson in the number 4. First time out. The 62 and Jeff Charland unable to refire the car. And that will put the field under caution. Assistant starter Junior Niles gives the drivers the all clear as they glance back to the flag stand. Willie Boucher on the pole. Young man who has just a few weeks of competition under his belt in 1992. New car here just a couple of weeks ago. Blackman says hold it even. Turn 4, green is out. Boucher with the advantage as they race the front stretch to turn number 1. Dave Jackson in the number 98 takes over the runner-up spot. Side-by-side battle, actually a three-way battle shaping up. Bob Barash takes over position 3, spin between turns 3 and 4, and that brings out the caution. Fire from beneath one of the cars as that car spins and evidently breaks something in the engine compartment, and that puts the field under caution once again. Driver immediately out of that car and looking under the hood, as you could see fire came from that car. System starter has given the drivers the all clear. The lights are out atop the pace car. Pace car makes its way onto the infield pit road, and we're looking to restart at turn 4. Green is out. Willie Boucher once again shows the way. Dave Jackson right up the inside to take over the runner-up spot, and cars tangle over the top of turn number 1. Everyone appears to stay underway. Bob Barash trying to get that number 22 back in progress. He finally gets it underway, and they stay under green. Willie Boucher, a lot of pressure from Dave Jackson in the number 98. Spin on the backstretch. Russell Barta gets the 04 turned about right at the halfway point. Joe Grant holds down position number 3. Don Tapley in the number 15 is 4th, and Kevin O'Rourke rounds out the top 5 in number 85. Sorry, 65. Another spin in that turn 3 area. The 04, I believe, Russell Barta. Lumina Z34 from Pape Chevrolet. Junior Niles gives the drivers the all clear once again. Willie Boucher, Dave Jackson on the front line. And under green once again. Jackson gets the car jacked right around sideways. Does a nice job of hanging onto it. Loses it, however, in turn number 1. Something perhaps. Tire down, or a miss on the 98. White flag is out. Willie Boucher with a lot of pressure from Don Tapley Jr. in the number 15 and Joe Grant in the number 9. As they are closing on race leader Willie Boucher. Boucher, I believe, in just his 3rd week of competition, will go under the checkered flag as he grabs the semi-feature, followed by Don Tapley. Joe Grant in the number 9, Kevin O'Rourke in the 65, and Jim Shaw in the number 16, your top 5. Well, down at the start-finish line area is the winner of tonight's Limited Sportsman semi-feature. From Wyndham, Maine, in the Scott's Auto Sales, Roberts Automotive, Willie Boucher capturing tonight's semi-feature. The car is also sponsored in part by Lifetime Muffler and Brake. So in just 3 short weeks with a brand new car, Willie Boucher has found victory lane. Always tough to come in at mid-season, but Boucher does it in a very successful way. And Dennis Quinn in the 06. And the 73 is driven by Larry Ramsey Jr.
Laps on tap, 8 cars to qualify for the main event. Flag Eddie Walsh gives the drivers the all clear as they glance to the flag stand, staging on the backstretch. One of those strong rookies on the pole, Keith Lovejoy in the 03, has a veteran to his outside, hard-charging Jeff Morgan in the number 7. Just 8 positions available. Flagman says pick it up just a little bit. Green is out. Jeff Morgan with the advantage from the outside. Danny Bubar on the move, trying to draw it even for that second place position. Can't do it. Keith Lovejoy down low, challenges Morgan for the lead. Jeff Morgan once again out at the point. He'll bring him down to lead lap number 1. Keith Lovejoy from the inside is second. Then Danny Bubar, followed by the 19 Jackie Roussel, and then a side-by-side battle for 5th. Dwight Shepard and Tim Gendron. Last qualifier, I believe, would be Larry Gelinas in the number 37. Top 3 have just broken away from the rest of the field. Continues to be Jeff Morgan, Keith Lovejoy, Danny Bubar. Then comes Dwight Shepard, Tim Gendron, Larry Gelinas, and Hans Meyer at the moment would be your last qualifier. Actually, the number 50 would be the last qualifier, Alan Burraby. Several strong running cars sitting outside of qualifying. The 50 is turned about between turns 3 and 4. Alan Burraby sits facing the oncoming traffic, and that will require the caution flag. 7 laps down of this 15-lap consolation event for the limited sportsman. Top 8 to transfer to the main event. Like Eddie Walsh points to turn number 4. Jeff Morgan on the point, and the green is out. Danny Bubar up the inside, trying to take over that runner-up position, and on the backstretch, he does. Also on the move, Larry Gelinas. He tangles with the 03, and they get all crossed up, and that in turn takes the 12, Tim Gendron, right into the tie-up area, and that will put the field under caution once again. Tough break for Tim Gendron, as he was kind of a victim of circumstance there. Obviously no injury to the driver as he is out of the car. Right now, all clear once again from flagman Eddie Walsh as the limited sportsman competitors in our consolation event still trying to work out a lap beyond lap number 7. At turn 4, the green is out. Right off over the top of turn number 4 is Jackie Roussel, and up against the tie-up area, and that requires the caution flag.
Fortunately, he got the car back underway, but one of those situations that perhaps looked worse than it was, fortunately. 7 laps down, 8 to go, and 8 qualifying positions available for the main event. Jeff Morgan, Keith Lovejoy bring them to turn 4, and the green is out. Jeff Morgan with a slight advantage from the low side. Then comes Keith Lovejoy. He has all kinds of pressure from Danny Bubar in the number 24. Keith Lovejoy now taking a shot to the outside of Jeff Morgan. He tries to draw it even out of turn 2 on the backstretch. Can't quite do it. Stays on the high side, and that opens up that inside lane for Danny Bubar. Last qualifier unofficially would be the 06 Dennis Quinn. Jeff Morgan, all kinds of pressure from Keith Lovejoy. They continue to go at it wheel to wheel. Now the 08 would be the last qualifier. He has all kinds of pressure from Bob Doak in the 33, along with Gary Adams in the 74. Back up front, the two-way battle for the lead continues. Jeff Morgan by about a half car length. Flagman Eddie Walsh indicates it will be just 2 to go when they cross the stripe. Jeff Morgan has finally been able to shake the 03 from his outside. He has the point to himself. Bob Doak currently holds down that last qualifying position. Side-by-side battle for 5th. Hans Meyer on the low side. They are under the white flag. Dwight Shepard works to the outside of the number 2. As he exits turn 4, Jeff Morgan will see the checkered flag go down as he captures the consolation event, followed by Keith Lovejoy, Danny Bubar, Larry Gelinas, and Dwight Shepard. Unofficially, last qualifier, the 33, Bob Doak. 10 laps, 2 of the best late model Sportsman competitors anywhere in the Northeast. Mike Mayetta Sr. in the 13, Mike Johnson in the number 33. 10 laps on tap, head-to-head competition. Flagman Eddie Walsh brings them out of turn number 4. Green is out. Mike Mayetta with a slight advantage down low. Mike Johnson works the high side, decides to stay out there, tries to draw it even on the backstretch. He does. They go wheel to wheel down through turns 3 and 4. Out of turn 4, side by side across the stripe. You saw Mike Johnson win his qualifying heat in a commanding way. Mike Mayetta finished 5th. This time, Mayetta gets the advantage down low as Johnson appeared to slip just a little bit in turn 4. Johnson collects it right back up, goes low now as he gets the low side. Mike Johnson now on the inside rail takes it over as they work lap number 3, complete lap number 3. Johnson on the low side trying to get a toe hold beneath Mike Mayetta. He gets it. Advantage Mike Johnson down low by a fender. But here comes Mayetta back on the outside. Slips just a little bit in turn 4. They'll be coming to the halfway point. Mike Mayetta going to look low now. He gets down low. It seems whoever can get that inside rail. Johnson goes up high now as they swap it back and forth halfway point. Mike Johnson right up to the back bumper now, trying to decide whether to go high or low. Mayetta slips, he goes high. Here comes Mike Johnson as they swap it back and forth. Mike Johnson with the advantage. But here comes Mayetta. Pride is at stake, and you can bet neither one of these drivers want to lose. Turning the track in about 15.6. Good time for both cars. Here comes Mayetta trying to get beneath the 33, and he does. Side by side, he spins out of turn number 4. Does a nice job of holding the car just 2 laps. Mayetta does a nice job of hanging on to that number 13 and gets down low now as he finds room when Johnson goes high. White flag is out, side by side across the stripe. They continue to turn the track at about 15.6. Side by side, this is it, ladies and gentlemen, from turn 3 to the finish line. Side by side, they just touch. Cross the line side by side. Well, I don't know. Looked like Mike Mayetta by just a bumper. They say the number 13 with just a bumper ahead as they cross the stripe. The 1990 and 91 champion able to just recover after getting sideways in turn number 4. He comes down, is handed the checkered flag as by just a bumper at the finish line. Mike Mayetta over Mike Johnson, but you can see how even these two are, and what a battle this points race is going to be during the second half of the 1992 season. Well, Mike Mayetta is going to get the bragging rights this week. As I think many of the regulars know, nice job Mike Johnson as he flattens out on the side of the number 33. Making his first appearance on the 1992 season tonight in the 04 from Scarborough, Maine, Jimmy Brown. Officials making one final safety check of the drivers. When we get the all clear, it is our tradition, ladies and gentlemen, that all of you help me with those famous words that get all races underway. We have the all clear from assistant starter. Ladies and gentlemen, on the count of 3, please. 1, 2, 3. Gentlemen, start your engines. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as the cars approach the front stretch, let's give them a nice Beech Ridge Motor Speedway send-off. Let these drivers know that you send them off with your best wishes for a safe race. Gives the drivers the all clear as they stage on the backstretch. 35 laps on tap. Scott Watts on the pole. Tim Land is outside. Pace car makes its way onto the infield pit road. We look for a start at turn 4. Green is out. Scott walks from the inside. Tango off turn 2. Gary Johnson gets the car refired, and we stay under green. Continues to be Scott Watts as he brings him down to lap number 1. Bobby Babb right up to the back bumper. Joe Bowser goes to the outside as he challenges for the lead. Continues to be Watts from the inside. Joe Bowser taking a look to the outside. Bob Libby down low. Bobby Babb down low, rather. Watts trying to take it over, but he has Joe Bowser working hard to his outside. They exit turn 4. Joe Bowser takes it over as they cross the stripe, completing 3 laps. New leader Joe Bowser as he takes it over. Bobby Babb now trying to make a move to the outside of Watts. Bobby Babb on the move. He puts the number 4 up into the runner-up position. Out and around the F80. Also on the move, younger brother Barry Babb in the 0, as is Gary Pulsifer. All working that outside groove. Joe Bowser continues to show the way, followed by Bobby Babb. Then comes a side-by-side battle for position number 3. Scott Watts on the low side, Barry Babb to the high side. Barry Babb with the advantage from the outside groove. Now Gary Pulsifer looks to take over position number 4. Johnson has broken free and now makes a move to the outside. Gets sideways off over turns number 3 and 4. Takes it right over the top of turns 3 and 4. And the caution flag is out. And this time, Joe Bowser will have to square off with Bobby Babb as they occupy the front row. Pace car will make its way onto the infield pit road. Flagman points to turn number 4, says hold it even. Green is out. They cross the stripes side by side. Babb with the advantage now to the outside as he works hard to the outside of the 32. Bowser right back to draw it even down into turn 3. They go side by side to turn 4. Bowser with the advantage as they cross the stripe this time. Gary Pulsifer up to make a challenge now as he works beneath the number 4 of Bobby Babb. Andy Lewitt on the move as he's up to the outside of the 0 of Barry Babb. Advantage down low. Gary Pulsifer takes over the runner-up position as he gets to the low side. Up now to take a look and challenge race leader Joe Bowser. Bobby Babb trying to get beneath the 41 now. He gets sideways out of turn number 4 as the 4 and the 41 just touch. An advantage on the inside now. Bobby Babb once again, but here comes Pulsifer back up the outside. Wheel-to-wheel battle for the second place position. Pulsifer trying to take it over once again, this time from the high side. Side-by-side battle continues. Pulsifer finally takes it over from the outside, dropping Bobby Babb back to 3rd. Andy Lewitt is 4th. Cars on the move coming up through the pack. Mike Mayer in the 13 and Bobby Randall in the 91 as they work now to the outside of the 34 of Bob Libby. gets the car sideways, gets the 91 turned about in turn number 4. And he sits at the top of the 4th turn. That will bring out the caution flag. Bob Randall finally gets the 91 refired. But right now, flagman Eddie Walsh gives the drivers the all clear as they stage on the backstretch. The pace car makes its way onto the infield pit road. This time, Joe Bauza and the 41, Gary Pulsiver, and the green is out. Bobby Babb right up the inside once again to challenge and take over that runner-up position. Eddie Walsh indicates they are coming to the halfway point. Another spin in the 3-turn area. This time Tim Land. And with it, George Libby in the number 8 sits facing traffic. He gets the car turned around. Lights are out atop the pace car. All clear from atop the flag stand. Will be Joe Bowser and Bobby Babb bringing the field to a start out of turn 4. Bowser with a slight advantage. Babb pressing hard on the outside, trying to draw it even. Joe Bowser back at the point. Bobby Babb is second. Gary Pulsiver third. Mike Mayetta up to 4th. Andy Lude and Glenn Cusack go at it side by side for the 5th place position. Mike Johnson, Bobby Libby up to go at it side by side. Out of the groove now goes Bobby Babb as he takes the car way wide. Momentarily off the pace, but then he drops right back in again. But with it, he lost a number of positions. Joe Bowser working himself right out into a rather comfortable lead, but Mike Mayetta has shaken the rest of the pack, and he has position 2 by himself. Then the side-by-side battles shape up from position 3 on back. Andy Lude, Gary Pulsiver, then Glenn Cusack and Mike Johnson. Problems on the 91 as some sort of fluid begins to pour from the 91. That will put the cars under caution. Bobby Randall with his first night back in about 3 weeks in the late model division. No one has won more than 2 main events. Right now, flagman Eddie Walsh gives them the all clear as they work down to turn 3. Joe Bowser with a jump on the rest of the group. Mike Mayetta continues in second. Andy Lude is third. Glenn Cusack and Mike Johnson in a battle for the 4th place position. Joe Bowser maintaining about a half-car length lead over Mike Mayetta. Turns the track in about 15.8 seconds. Glenn Cusack trying to advance on the outside. He has worked himself out and around Mike Johnson. Now takes a look to the outside of Andy Lude. Cusack along with the Rondo crew doing a nice job of getting their cars back for feature event competition. Bowser continues to turn the track in approximately 15.8 seconds. Continues to hold a slight advantage over Mike Mayetta. Andy Lew continues in third. That battle continues for fourth. Glenn Cusack and Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson now taking a bit to the outside of the number 56. And flagman Eddie Walsh indicates it will be just 2 to go next time by, and here comes Mike Mayetta with a bid to the outside of Joe Bowser. Can't quite find the room, tucks it back in, takes a look outside once again. Mayetta knows he has just 2 laps to find a way around Joe Bowser. White flag is out. Continues to be Joe Bowser. They will have to deal with the 48 of Tom Bragg. Bragg moves way down to the low side. Opens up the outside for the race leaders. Checkered flag waves. Joe Bowser, Mike Mayetta, Mike Johnson, Andy Lew, and Glenn Cusack. So Joe Bowser joins the ranks of the 2-time winners here at the Speedway. Down to collect the colors from flagman Eddie Walsh. Joe Bowser will make his parade lap and be back in victory lane, and we'll have a chance to hear from tonight's feature event winner. The car is sponsored in part by the Maine State Hair Academy, along with Kmart and Futura Stone, High Torque Engines, Waterman's Ultra Service Center. And back to return the colors to flagman Eddie Walsh is Joe Bowser.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Bowser. Second win of the year. You're getting the hang of that checkered flag. Congratulations, Joe. Nice job tonight.
Thank you, Andy. I want to thank all my sponsors once again, my crew, and everybody involved.
That was a good run tonight. You picked up the lead early on. Was it difficult working up front with Barry Babb, Bobby Babb, and running with Scott Watts there?
Well, car was running pretty good tonight, and like last time, it was a lot easier starting up front. Then the last couple of restarts there, I had Mikey and them right there, and it got me a little nervous at first, but the car was going good, so I felt fairly confident.
There were only a few laps to go, and Mike Mayetta was right there behind you, and then it seemed like with maybe 3 or 4 laps to go, he was really going to just pour it on and maybe take you on that. Did you feel that he might have been setting you up?
Well, to be honest with you, I was kind of driving in the mirror, so and I was watching, had my eye on him there. I didn't want to run myself too high, let him get underneath me, and I just kind of was trying to save my tires, and so if he did pull up beside me, I'd have a little bit more there to go,
It was good strategy. It worked tonight. And a final question, toward the end of the race, a lap to go on the 48, a lapped car comes into play there. Did that work to your advantage, do you feel?
I don't think it really worked to my advantage. I don't think the outcome would have been any different, but I was a little nervous because I didn't know which way he was going to go, and if he'd have stayed down, or it could have messed me up a little bit there, but everything worked out all right.
You all did an excellent piece of driving tonight, especially yourself with another first place award. And Bob Jewett from GW Jewett & Son, tonight's sponsor, has the trophy for you, Bob.
Excellent piece of driving, Joe. I want to present you this trophy from GW Jewett & Son.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, another nice round of applause for Joe Bowser and win number 2.
The Moody's Racing 08 and Willie Elliott from Scarborough. The Griffin Motorsports number 14 and Chris Rule. From Scarborough, the Casco Bay Yachts number 27, Richard Belton. From Falmouth, the Keniston Enterprises 07 and Doug Shores. From Scarborough, the Print World, number 7, Kevin Durgan. From Wyndham, the Subway, Able Power number 2, Jim Emerson. From Scarborough, the Print Media, number 40, Jeff Salibi. From Old Orchard Beach, Ed's Batteries number 4, Lloyd Washburn. And from Scarborough, Rex Garrett in the 24. At turn 4, green is out. Tim Maloney with a slight advantage from the low side. Darrell Ward presses hard on the outside, looking to draw it even on the backstretch down into turn 3. They go at it wheel to wheel. Side-by-side battles right back straight through the pack. Rex Garrett gets the number 24 turned about off over the top of turn number 1. He gets the car refired and the field stays under green. Continues to be Tim Maloney showing the way. Ed Strong up to challenge Darrell Ward for that runner-up position. Then comes Spike Manitow, Phil Weeks, and then a side-by-side battle, Steve Howard and Dave Sprague. Battle is for third. Spike Manitow to the low side. Darrell Ward losing the grip just a bit on the outside as Phil Weeks is up now to challenge that inside. Advantage to the inside row. Stacked right up, bumper to bumper from position 2 right on back. And as they battle, it allows Tim Maloney to open things up at the front. He will have to deal with the car of Rex Garrett as he is ready to put Garrett down one lap. Spike Manitow trying to find room beneath the 10-4 of Ed Strong. Couldn't do it that time. Spike Manitow down on the low side will have to deal with a 24. Rex Garrett gets out wide, and that opens up the inside now for the 89 and Spike Manitow as he takes over the runner-up position. Spike Manitow now setting his sights on race leader Tim Maloney as they work in lap 10. Down to the low side of turn 3 sets the number 2 and Jim Emerson. That will require the caution flag. Misfortune strikes the number 2 tonight and eliminates Jim Emerson from the lap. Right now we have an all clear from atop the flag stand as the drivers stage on the backstretch. Tim Maloney. Spike Manitow bring him down to turn 4 and the green is out. Tim Maloney once again with the advantage. Ed Strong right up the inside to challenge for that second place position. Ed Strong and Spike Manitow go at it side by side. Then Darrell Ward and Phil Weeks. Bumper to bumper and wheel to wheel action in this Super Sportsman division. Cars are very even, and once again, the battle is for the runner-up position. Advantage to the inside as Ed Strong manages to take over second place. Darrell Ward up the inside now, trying to take over position number 3. Spike Manitow working hard to the outside as he tries not to give up that third spin out of turn number 4. That collects several of the competitors and will put the field under caution once again. Well, all but the number 80 have driven away, and it looks like the number 80 is going to be able to drive away. So hopefully, perhaps just cosmetic damage to these cars involved, and that is fortunate considering what could have happened. Well, this time all clear from atop the flag stand as the drivers stage on the backstretch. Tim Maloney on the pole. Ed Strong to his outside. Green is out. Ed Strong with a slight advantage from the outside as they race to turn 1, but Tim Maloney right back hard on the inside takes it over. They go side by side down to turn 3. Out of turn 4 and across the stripe, Tim Maloney shows the way. Ed Strong in the 10-4. Here comes Phil Weeks on the move as he makes a move to the outside of the number 10. Willie Elliott up the inside now, challenging for that third place position. Side by side battle for third, fourth, fifth. Willie Elliott and Phil Weeks trying to find racing room at the back bumper of the number 10. Flagman indicates it will be the halfway point next time by. 15 down, 15 to go. Battle continues to be waged for the third place position. Willie Elliott in the 08, Phil Weeks in the 9. Elliott trying to find room now beneath the number 10. He draws it even for the runner-up position. Willie Elliott. Solidly in that second place position. Doug Shaw is now up to position number 3. Tim Maloney looking for his first main event in this Super Sportsman division. Willie Elliott has captured 1 main event. Doug Shaw's 5. Phil Weeks has 1 main event. Tangle in turn 4 as the 03 gets spun about. Steve Howard coast to a stop in turn 4. All clear from atop the flag stand. This time it'll be Tim Maloney and Willie Elliott. Green flag is out. Willie Elliott with a slight advantage as they cross the stripe. Tim Maloney trying to draw it even, and he does at turn 2. But Willie Elliott once again with a burst of speed down into turn 3 takes over the point as they work in lap number 20. New leader Willie Elliott. Tim Maloney once again trying to find room beneath the 08, and he does. Tim Maloney takes it over from the low side, but Elliott is right back to go head to head. Maloney takes it over as they complete lap number 21. Tangle in turn 1. The 10, the number 9. 9 up to the top of turn 2. We have a car sitting on the low side. That is the 14 of Chris Rule. All clear once again from atop the flag stand. And once again, Tim Maloney and Willie Elliott bring the field to turn 4 and green. Tim Maloney on the low side, Willie Elliott up high. Elliott with the advantage as they race down to turn number 3. Tim Maloney right at the back bumper trying to find room to the low side of the 08. Willie Elliott looking for his second main event in this division. Tim Maloney would be looking for his first. Lap winding down, continues to be Willie Elliott. Tim Maloney right at the back bumper. Then comes Doug Shores, Dave Bath, and Russ Johnson. And knocking on the door of the top 5, Richard Bubba Pelton in the number 27. Flagman Eddie Walsh indicates just 2 to go. Tim Maloney again trying to find room down low. Presses hard to the low side of the 08. Doug Shores trying to get up and mount a challenge to the outside. He gets the car out of shape, has to back out of it just a little bit. Pelton continues to press on the outside. The white flag is out. And on the move, Richard Pelton in the number 27 as he is up to challenge for that 4th place position. Checkered flag flies. Willie Elliott, Tim Maloney, Doug Shores, Dave Bath, and Bubba Pelton across the line side by side. Then Russ Johnson. Very, very tight main event for the Super Sportsman. Down to collect the colors in the 08. Willie Elliott driving the Moody Racing Team. 08 out of Keza Falls. And in the runner-up position with a fine run tonight, Tim Maloney in the number 69. And finishing 3rd tonight, 5-time feature winner Doug Shores in the 07. Willie Elliott making his parade lap, and then he'll be back. And we'll have an opportunity to hear from tonight's Super Sportsman main event winner. Super Sportsman sponsored by Forest City Chevrolet, making a commitment to this Super Sportsman division here at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. Back to return the colors to Flagman Eddie Walsh, Willie Elliott. And as Willie Elliott prepares to exit his 08, we go trackside now to Andy Cusack. Andy?
Thank you, Bruce. Well, the sweat's pouring off you. Congratulations.
Yeah, it was a pretty tough one coming from back in the back. Front there was a pretty good battle at the end there with 69 car. We got together a few times, but I guess that's racing.
You earned that, too, because he was right with you the whole way and was into you a few times. Is your car handling the way you like to have it run tonight?
No, it was better last week. Tonight we had a pretty good push. I thought I had right front tire going down on it, but I guess we just hung on for the win. I guess that's all that counts.
Another checkered flag for the Moody family. I know they'll be happy. Is everything going well? They're pleased with your performance, I take it, at this point.
Well, I hope so. We've had some pretty good finishes of the past few weeks anyway, so I'd like to thank Village Jewelers, Lenny Service Center, Village Jewelers, Moody's Racing Team. Thank Rodney and Gina and Faith and the crew, all putting the car under me and letting me drive it. So I thank them all.
We know they're proud of the job you've done tonight. Bob Jewett from GW Jewett and Son and Chelsea have a trophy for you.
An excellent piece of driving there, Willie, and want to congratulate you on your win, and Chelsea's going to give you their trophy. I'd like to thank Bob Jewett and all the people that sponsor these races weekly. Sure means a lot to us.
And Willie, here's a $50 gift contingency from Big A Auto Parts for the Super Sportsman Division winner tonight to give to the Moody family. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Willie Elliott.
All right, waiting on deck at the turn 3 pit exit, the Women's Sportsman for their main event. From Leamington, the number 29, Saco City Used Cars, David Wiles. From Kennebunk, in the Kennebunk Glass Zero, Wayne Whitten. From Wyndham, in the Lifetime Muffler, number 79, Wayne Poland. From Alfred, in the Scott's Auto Salvage, number 56, Robert Botwell Jr. And from Scarborough, in the Mayetta Towing, number 86, Donnie Culprit. From Baldwin, the Roberts Auto Body, number 33, Bob Doak. From Gray, Maine, AV Race Cars, number 25, Kevin Buck. Ken McLeod from Wyndham in the Body Works, number 30. From Shapley, the number 93, the Cabana Auto Body entry of Dave Langlis. Ready to go at turn 4 and green. Chuck Willoughby with the advantage from the inside, but he has all kinds of pressure from Lovejoy to his outside. Remaining cars, Gordon Nelson in the mainly heating number 61. Larry Gelinas in the 37, Dennis Hall in the 94, Danny Bubar in the 24, Pee-wee Knight in the 111, and Dwight Shepard in the 09. Keith Lovejoy shows the way as they work lap number 2. Chuck Willoughby in the runner-up position, then comes a side-by-side battle for third. John Maycomber to the low side, Glenn Reynolds on the outside. Tangle right down front. They get that all straightened out, and everybody keeps underway. Rookie Keith Lovejoy with a rather comfortable lead for right now. Chuck Willoughby doing a nice job in that runner-up position. Then comes John Maycomber. Jeff Severance up to 4th. Glenn Reynolds holds down position number 5. Chuck Willoughby goes a little wide. That opens up the inside for John Maycomber. Maycomber up to challenge for the runner-up position. Glenn Reynolds and Jeff Severance battle side by side for the next position. And while all these side-by-side battles go on, Keith Lovejoy enjoys the point all to himself. Severance trying to do it 3 wide. He gets the car sideways out of turn 4. Does a nice job of hanging on to it. Only loses about, well, 2 positions. Another strong running rookie in the number 28. Remember those high point men starting at the tail end, trying to work their way up through the back. Tango off over the top of turn 2. Wayne Witt and Jeff Severance. Witten takes the 0 right on the pit road. Also the 18 headed on the pit road. Battle now for second. The 96 John Maycomber and the 05 Glenn Reynolds. Then comes Paul Holstrom and Charlie Roussel. Billy Thompson with problems on the number 6 as he is off the pace. Appeared to be headed toward pit road, but decides to keep it on the track. Spin in the turn 3 area as Chuck Willoughby gets turned about. He manages to get their car refired. We have several cars off over the top of turn 4. It appears as though all of them are able to get underway, but then the number 2 stops. He gets going again as the caution flag comes out. the defending champion, Larry Gelinas, in the number 37. The car is sponsored by Pizza Plus, along with Libby Sales. The 5th place contender, Gordon Nelson. The car is sponsored by Ainley Heating, along with Barrow Superior Wood Finishing. Some of the cars we didn't have quite time enough to do justice to. Dave Langless in the Cabana Auto Body car. But right now we're ready to restart. 14 laps down. Green is out. Keith Lovejoy once again establishes himself at the point. Glenn Reynolds right up the inside, trying to mount a challenge now to race leader Keith Lovejoy. They are coming to the halfway point. It will be 15 down and 15 to go. Some 3 wide racing down into turn 1. Risky business. Somehow they managed to do it. Couple of the strong running rookies beginning to make their presence known. Ryan Shepard in the 34, Steve Berry in the number 7. Up there knocking on the door of the top half dozen. And of course we have a rookie leading this race, Keith Lovejoy, in the 03. Keith Lovejoy looking for his first main event. Glenn Reynolds with a very strong run tonight. The 86 up from 13th starting position is now making his presence known in the top 5. Battle is for 4th. Charlie Roussel in the number 10. Donnie Colbert in the 86 go at it side by side. Donnie Colbert was the runner-up in last week's 75-lap Limited Sportsman main event. Charlie Roussel captured a Limited Sportsman semi-feature a week ago. 2 weeks ago. Glenn Reynolds now applying some pressure once again to race leader Keith Lovejoy. Donnie Morse headed on a pit road with a number 75. Flagman indicates it will be just 5 to go when they cross the stripe this time. Keith Lovejoy with a fine job, along with Glenn Reynolds, both looking for their first feature event in this Limited Sportsman division. Glenn Reynolds takes a look to the outside of Keith Lovejoy. Glenn Reynolds on the move on the outside, trying to draw it even with race leader Keith Lovejoy. Flagman indicates it will be just 2 to go next time by. Lovejoy, Glenn Reynolds, John Maycoper, Donnie Culprit, and Steve Berry in top 5. Donnie Culprit now making a move to the outside of the third place competitor. The white flag is out. Rookie Keith Lovejoy looking to grab his first limited Sportsman main event. We'll see the checkered flag go down. He captures the main event. Second place, too close for me to call. Glenn Reynolds and Donnie Culprit come across the line side by side. The number 10, Charlie Roussel, along with the number 7. And we will wait for the official word on the finish from position 2 on back. Runner-up, right at the wire, Donnie Culprit in the number 86 as he just edged out Glenn Reynolds in the 05. And then Steve Berry in the 4th place position. And John Maycoper, 96, rounds out your top 5. Keith Lovejoy back to return the colors to flagman Eddie Walsh, and in just a few moments we'll have an opportunity to hear from tonight's.
What a special moment this is for Keith Lovejoy, the driver of car number 03, a rookie in this division and his first win. First career win, always a special one, and he's all smiles as he climbs from the car. Ladies and gentlemen, give Keith Lovejoy. It's great to see the smile. Congratulations, Keith.
Long time coming.
How does this feel as a rookie driver?
A lot of pressure from the peers and the veterans and things like that, but it's coming. It's coming. Tom Bragg and Carl Marcotte helped a great deal getting the car ready for motor-wise, handling-wise. If it weren't for them, this car wouldn't be anywhere near where it is now.
So you had some pressure put on you, actually all through the race, but especially toward the end. The 05 was right there, a great charge at the very end by some more competitors. Were you confident that you could pull this one off?
Actually, Andy, the old heart was pounding a little faster than it wanted it to be.
So here you are in victory lane. Is this what you expected it would be like? This is what everybody dreams about when they get behind the wheel of a race car.
Right now, the cool down's nice, but it ain't really sunk in yet. Give it a day or two and it'll hit home.
Monday or Tuesday, you go, wow, I won that race. We congratulate you, Keith. Bob Jewett from GW Jewett & Son has a trophy that will remain a favorite forever.
Congratulations, Keith, on your first win. I'll present you this trophy on behalf of GW Jewett & Son.
Thank you very much. Sponsors like that, it helps, and we need all we can get. Thank you.
Congratulations, Keith. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Lovejoy. Bruce Elder, back to the tower with you.
All right, once again, great run by rookie Keith Lovejoy, and as Andy mentioned, that first win is always perhaps the most special win for any race driver. Well, we're prepared to round out our evening with those high-powered midgets, and with that, we're going to turn things over once again to the voice of the Northeast Midget Racing Association, Mr. Dick Monahan. Dick?
300 horsepower out of these engines that are between 140 and 180 cubic inches. Requires them to be very high compression, and they're powered by alcohol. They're fueled by alcohol. There's no gasoline out there on the track in these race cars at the moment. But this has required the midgets over the years to develop a special way of starting these cars. Every one of these cars has in it a switch that shuts off the front wheel brakes. And watch, those of you who are on the right side of the grandstand and watch as Joey Coy is pushed off here in the number 12, you'll notice his rear tires will slide along the road a little way. That's because he has his foot planted right on the brake for a few seconds, holding those rear wheels from moving, because the car's in gear, and they don't want the engine to turn over until they're sure they're going fast enough so the engine will turn over smoothly. These cars just have 4 cylinders, so if they just pushed them off from a dead stop, the car would go kind of Humpty down the track and would probably break drive shafts or axles or something. So they lock up the rear wheels, and the driver waits till he's going fast enough so he's sure he's going to get a smooth start. Then he lets go the brakes, That starts the engine turning over. Then he watches the oil pressure. And when he sees the oil pressure is up high enough, he hits the ignition switch, fires the engine, and takes off. And then we hope the first thing he does is lean down and turn the front wheel brakes back on, because sometime in the next few minutes he might need them. Or for those of us who have ever paid the bills for one of those things. Now they've formed their 2-wide order from which they'll start, but they'd like to give you one more parade lap, and Maury Dumas gives them the signal to form into the 4-wide parade lap. You've heard where they've come from. They've come from a long way to put on this show. They'd like to know that you appreciate it. How about everybody on the backstretch? Wave to the midgets as they parade by you. Down the backstretch into turn 3. Want all you folks in the front stretch ready. I want to see a wave as they come through turn 3 and up on turn 4. I want everybody up there in the turn 4 end of the grandstands, up and waving at them as they come by. Down by the front stretch, everybody waving into turn 1. Everybody wave them on their way. Believe me, they appreciate it. They can see you very clearly as you wave this time as they're in their parade lap. They love to come up here and race at Beech Ridge, and they want to put on a good show for you. Pace car pulls off. One more lap to let everybody get settled down back in that 2-wide order. As the last time by, they were watching you wave. They couldn't really listen to hear you because of the engines, but they could see you waving. But this time by, they won't see at all because they're watching Murray's right hand. He's got that green flag ready. Stan Beluziak's on the pole with Rick Hart right outside him. Then Babe Shaw and Johnny Coy Jr., Mike Seymour, Greg Storr, Mike Favuli and Drew Fanora are already coming out of turn 4. They've got their legs in it, the green's out, here we go! On the brake, Rick Hart gets outside, takes the lead. Down the backstretch, Johnny Coy Jr. has trouble there from one car, but Johnny Coy Jr. has the lead with Greg Storr, then Rick Hart. Drew Fanoro in the Pontiac comes around the outside, takes over third. Mike Favuli is working on him next, as Stan Beluziak has trouble and drops out. Here's the fight for the lead. Johnny Coy Jr., Greg Storr, Drew Fanoro, Mike Favuli is in 4th. Babe Shaw is in 5th, and the yellow flag is out. Double them back up. Notice, by the way, we have 3 sets of brothers running with us here tonight. Although right now there's only one of them managed to stay in the feature. That's the 2 Coy brothers in the 94 and the 12. Seymour's in the 8 and the 4. The 4 has dropped out, and the Storr's in the 3 and the 26. The 26 is out. So I guess that's the way we're going to go. We're going to go without the 4. Here we go again. The green's out. Johnny Coy once again takes the lead. Drew Fanoro comes through in the bottom to take over 2nd. Greg Storr's pushed back to 3rd. Mike Favuli hangs on to 4th ahead of Babe Shaw. Joey Coy has now worked his way up to 6th, where for the moment he's stuck. Mike Seymour is 7th. Johnny Coy, Drew Fanoro. Mike Favuli now working on Greg Storr. Gets down on the inside as Storr pushes out a little bit and takes over 3rd, as Joey Coy gets underneath Babe Shaw, takes over 5th. Johnny Coy, Drew Fanoro, Mike Favuli, Greg Storr, Joey Coy, Babe Shaw, Mike Seymour are the top 8 cars. Down the backstretch, Drew Fanoro in the Pontiac manages to close up a little on Johnny Coy in the Fontana, but Coy is sticking right on the bottom. Coming out of 2 better. Starting to come up on some of the lap traffic now. Fanoro dives to the inside, takes over the lead with a daring move on the inside of the lap car. He gets the lead away from Coy, and now Favuli and Storr have to get around that same car and Joey Coy. Up in fifth is working on those front two. Fanoro now manages to open up a big gap ahead of Coy, as Favuli, Storr, and Joey Coy battle it out for third back here. Fanoro and Coy work their way through the lap traffic, but now one at a time. But now we're going to have this pack of three coming up on packs in the lap traffic. Down the backstretch, Mike Favuli leads Storr and Coy. Coy tries to get underneath Storr, got a little bit sideways, couldn't do it. Halfway, coming up the next time around. Those three still run nose to tail. Drew Fanoro takes the halfway sign well out in front of Johnny Coy. And the trio of Favuli, Storr, and Joey Coy are catching up on Johnny Coy. Drew Fanoro seems to be well out in front, but the next few are catching right up on him. More lap traffic excitement here, and Mike Favuli makes it through the pack first, then Greg Storr, Joey Coy, they stay in that order. Coy gets trapped behind some lap cars passing as 10 to go this time by. Drew Fanoro, after not being able to buy a win for over a season, is well on his way to making it 3 in a row this season. Johnny Coy having a little trouble with a couple lap cars again there. Is losing ground to Mike Favuli, Greg Storr, and Joey Coy. We've got a battle for second now, as Drew Fanoro is way out front. Johnny Coy makes it past the first of the lap cars. Favuli follows him underneath. Storr comes under two, running right down on the white line. Coy has trouble following, finally makes it. 4 laps to go for Drew Fanoro. Here's your battle for second coming up. Is Coy in the 94, Favuli in the 80, Storr in the 3, and Joey Coy in the 12. Mike Favuli catching up on Johnny Coy. Getting close here. Laps this time by for Drew Fanoro, who's got almost half a track lead on the second place car. Here's your battle for second coming out of turn 4. All alone now. Johnny Coy, Mike Favuli, Greg Storr, and Joey Coy. Running 2, 3, 4, 5. White flag for Drew Fanoro. Johnny Coy hangs on second. Coming around to take the checkered flag is Drew Fanoro. The battle for second still going on. Coming through turn 3 out of turn 4. Johnny Coy hangs on. Mike Favuli is third. Greg Storr fourth. Joey Coy fifth. Babe Shaw sixth. Mike Seymour seventh. Well, that was a fast one. Fanoro, Gene Angelillo, Scope, Extramat Pontiac takes his parade lap. is the entire crew, led by the owner, Gene Angelillo. Wave to the crowd, Gene. And he's always got to be a mechanic. Check the tires before they even get the driver out. Now we can hear you. How about a big hand for Drew Floro? Car owner Gene Angelillo receiving the trophy. I'd like to thank all you people for coming out to see us once again. We always enjoy coming here to Beech Ridge, and once again we want to invite you all to come over to the pits and join us. Take a look at the cars, talk to the drivers, get their autographs in the yearbook, which I'm sure you managed to buy by now. And just once again, be careful. They have exposed exhaust pipes. They're very hot. Please keep an eye on the little kids. We don't want anybody to get hurt. Thanks a lot. Bruce? Good to have been here.
Well, thank you. It's always great to have the Northeast Midget Racing Association back here with us at the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. And ladies and gentlemen, that brings to a conclusion our race meet for this evening. We're glad that you decided to spend your Saturday night here at the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway for stock car racing at its very best at one of America's premier short tracks right here in Scarborough, Maine. Once again, if you'd like to stay around for a bit, in just a few minutes, the